Hi guys, do you remember back in late 2020 during the pandemic, Keir Starmer, the leader of the opposition, suggested that Boris Johnson should issue a circuit breaker. Johnson rejected it and called it unworkable. However, later he issued lockdowns, saying that it was the right thing to do, and criticised Keir Starmer for flip-flopping. So this brings us to Liz Truss, the Foreign Secretary, who visited Northern Ireland on Wednesday, and she released this cool video about what her government is doing to, quote-unquote, resolve the problems caused by the Northern Ireland Protocol. The paperwork that she claims is unnecessary, but at the same time protecting the EU single market and the UK internal market. She brought up one solution here that invoked some déjà vu in me. I wonder if you can tell what it was.
I'm in Belfast to talk about the issues with the Northern Ireland Protocol, with local businesses, talking about our proposed solution, creating a green channel and a red channel to make it easier to trade goods between Great Britain and Northern Ireland. We've set out a comprehensive solution that will resolve the problems that people in Northern Ireland have been facing. We would create a green channel for goods moving between Great Britain and Northern Ireland, allowing them to move throughout the UK without unnecessary checks or paperwork. Goods heading into the EU would go through a red channel and be subject to full checks and controls, protecting the EU single market. This system would be backed up by rigorous enforcement and real-time data sharing. I've been clear we need a lasting solution to fix the protocol, to restore the balance within the Belfast Good Friday Agreement and get the executive up and running here in Northern Ireland.
So this sounds like a wonderful idea. You have a green channel, you have a red channel, or green lane and red lane. And it protects the single market, it protects the internal market, it protects the Good Friday Agreement, it protects the Northern Ireland Protocol. So everyone's happy. Well done to Liz Truss for coming up with this idea. But then I get back to my déjà vu. I heard it somewhere before. Well, here it is. This is an article from the Irish Times dated the 14th of October 2021, and it says new proposals from the European Commission to simplify and reduce the burden of rules governing the passage of goods across the Irish Sea from Great Britain to the north are welcome. The reasonable pragmatic measures will be the basis of talks which open today and should make it possible to preserve intact the Northern Ireland Protocol and so guarantee the continued absence of a land border on the island. So what is the proposal? Back in October it was, well, the Brussels offer will see up to 50% of customs checks scrapped, including on chilled meats and plants, and on approved and generic medicines. Large mixed consignments of animal-based products will also require only one export health certificate rather than dozens, and this has been a big problem. The mountains of paperwork, this would be reduced. Goods intended for the north would pass through a green lane with minimal checks, while those destined for the south would go through a red lane for more stringent procedures. To facilitate such relaxation, the UK will give real-time access to its databases to the EU. This is from last October. So the EU presented this to the UK, and unfortunately at the time it was rejected. It was, no, this is unworkable. This is unacceptable. And now you have Liz Truss basically claiming it's her idea, creating a green channel and a red channel to make it easier. Look, let me be very frank here. It doesn't matter who claims victory here. It doesn't matter if the EU presented it and then Liz Truss claims that she invented it and does a victory lap. It doesn't matter as long as it's implemented. A bit like the lockdown or the circuit breaker, Keir Starmer presented it, said that, this would be a good idea. Obviously, he was listening to SAGE at the time. Boris Johnson was ignoring them. Boris Johnson ignored it and then claimed victory. The important thing is that it was implemented to save lives. In the same way here, it doesn't matter who claims victory here as long as it's implemented. This would, I presume, this would protect the European single market, it would protect the internal market, it would protect the Good Friday Agreement and, of course, the protocol. So this is what's necessary. The EU presented it back in October. They did the heavy lifting here. They worked out, they did the necessary requirements to to compile this, to understand whether it's workable or not. They presented it to the UK. The UK at the time said no, and now they're saying, yeah, this is our idea. Look, once again, I don't care if Liz Truss does a victory lap here and claims it's hers. The important thing is to get it implemented. And of course, at the end of the video, she said this is about, getting the Northern Ireland executive up and running. So I think this will be presented to the likes of the DUP to say, look, we got one over on the EU. We forced them into a corner. We got them to agree to this green channel and red channel. Now, form your executive. I hope that's what I hope that's what Liz Truss is going to do and Boris Johnson is going to do. I hope this is the point of this exercise, the point of this video. To say, look, we forced the EU to accept something that they didn't want. And we got one over on them, and now it's time to form an executive. I hope that's actually what's going to happen here. It's extremely dishonest. But then we know who the Tories are, and we know who Boris Johnson and his cabinet are. They're not honest brokers. They're not honest individuals. But if this is what's necessary, then so be it. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.